Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for showing up today. Just a brief personal note here. Well, many of us all work with Jean Porter over here, our communications director. Today is her birthday, so happy birthday, Jean. Okay, thanks everybody for coming out today and kind of the shift of plans here with this unpredictable weather that we got going on outside. I think it should go without saying that the city wants to do everything that we possibly can to build peace and reduce violence in our neighborhoods, and that certainly includes helping the men and women of LMPD do the difficult, help them with doing the difficult and dangerous work that they do each and every day in our city. So that can take a variety of forms of assistance. Investing in technology like body cameras and ShotSpotter is certainly one. It also means structural changes like the kind that led to the creation of our 9th Mobile Division and the fantastic work that they do for us every day. But it also means recognizing that different parts of our operation, the city operation, can work together. So, for example, it means recognizing that our clean and green initiatives also help with public safety. So, for example, clearing alleyways like the one that you're seeing up here, not only is it good to keep our city clean and green, but it's also good to help our police officers to be able to get through our city more easily, and also to help them when they're on patrol or in pursuit of suspects. So that's why I'm happy to join everybody here today. Chief Conrad, members of LMPD's 9th, Major Hibbs over here, and to announce Operation Clear Path. Too many alleys have become so difficult to navigate due to the overgrowth like you're seeing here and other environmental problems that it hinders our officers' ability to do their job and keep our citizens safe. So we've identified these particular alleys because they're located in places where we're seeing higher levels of violent crime and receiving more calls for service. Operation Clear Path is part of our overall violence reduction action plan that's produced really nice and improving results for us. We saw a decrease last year in overall violent and property crime, though we will be the first to tell you we are not satisfied and there's still plenty of work to do to make our streets safer. And we have to recognize as a community that's not just the job of LMPD. Safety is a co-production. Certainly LMPD is part of it, but it also requires all community members and all branches of metro government to work with safety as our #1 priority. So Operation Clear Path is a great example of that. LMPD identified these overgrown alleys as an issue and asked for help. Public Works stepped up and said, how can we help? Chief Conrad and Keith Hackett will tell you more about the details of the program and how it all came together, but I want to say this type of spirit of teamwork and collaboration is typical of what we see with metro government. I'm very proud of the way all 6,000 of our employees understand that whatever's best for citizens comes first. It's not their particular department, it's how we can work together to make sure that we're collaborating to make our city a more peaceful city and meet the challenges of all kinds that we have here in Louisville. So we see that same kind of spirit when you take a look at all the progress that we have going on in the city. You see it with our economy, with $13 billion of construction. You see that with education, with our Cradle to Career and Compassionate School Project system. You see that with our sustainability initiatives and all of our partners in the communities, and so many other areas where people are coming together and saying we recognize we're in this together, and that means we have to work together, and people joyfully do so as a team. We have another opportunity coming up April 14th to 22nd with our Give a Day Week of Service, so please remind your viewers about that as well. For this particular Operation Clear Path, I want to thank LMPD and Public Works for coming together to find a good common sense solution that serves the public, makes our city greener and cleaner, and also is going to increase public safety as well. So great job to our team, very proud of them. Now I'd like to hand it over to Chief Conrad. Chief?
Mayor, thank you. Thank you all for being here today. You know, police work is more than just answering calls for service and making arrests. You know, the women and men of the Louisville Metro Police Department often go well above and beyond the normal call for duty, and they work to recognize and then try to resolve problems that affect safety here in Louisville. This effort, as the mayor has explained, Operation Clear Path, was really born out of the kind of initiative that I expect of our commanders and I expect of our officers. In this case, the 9th Mobile looked beyond their daily duties and recognized that overgrown alleys, such as the one pictured here, are a barrier to safety in these communities. And you know, we've talked a bit about cleaning these alleys, but an important part of this will be trimming the trees. In many cases, these alleys are well lit, but the leaves block the lighting. So this is an overall operation to not only make these alleys clean, but to make them clear and to make them safer. And I am truly, truly grateful to the 9th Mobile Division, in particular the commander, Major Billy Hibbs, and Lieutenant Jerry Huckleberry for spearheading this effort. But I'm especially glad and thankful for the work of our Public Works Department. They have an incredibly huge workload, and to volunteer to step up and take this on with all the other things we have going on is a big deal. And the mayor spoke to this, and I'll just repeat it. It really, I think, speaks to the kinds of effort that can be put forward when we work together. And this is an example of Metro government departments working collaboratively to do what we can together to make Louisville a safer community. You know, and now to explain more about how this program will work, I'd like to ask Lieutenant Jerry Huckleberry, one of the assistant commanders in the 9th Mobile Division, to give us that explanation. Jerry?
All right, thank you, Chief.
Thanks, sir.
Good morning. On behalf of the 9th Mobile, I'm excited to talk to you today about this effort we are starting with Metro Public Works to clear alleys that make it difficult to patrol some of our busiest areas in Louisville. First, let me tell you a little bit about the 9th Mobile Division. The 9th Mobile Division is a unit of approximately 45 officers tasked with patrolling the areas where we get a high volume of calls due to violent crime. This unit's primary focus is to seek out those who are committing the most dangerous crimes, usually related to gun crimes, and arrest them. As we do our work, we often come across areas that are difficult to access by police, but make a good breeding ground for criminal activity. Overgrown trees makes it difficult to navigate these areas in a patrol car, often blocking street lights from shining in these areas and making these alleys attractive to criminal behavior. So what we decided to do was identify several areas that would be improved if Public Works were able to clear them, at least the overgrown trees and the shrubs. For this first blitz, we have identified 26 alleys that need work. Public Works has generously agreed to take care of them before the leaves get any thicker. Then as we hit the warmer months and the trees become in full bloom, our officers will identify other problem areas. We will identify other problem areas, and we will create a database of places that Public Works could begin clearing in the fall once the leaves have fallen off the trees. Having these alleys more accessible will help our officers to patrol these areas and hopefully prevent and deter crime. Safe communities come from a combination of enforcement, prevention, intervention, and rehabilitation, and we are so grateful to have these wonderful partners join us today. Now I'd like to hand it over to Mr. Keith Hackett with Metro Public Works.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. My name is Keith Hackett. Thank you, Lieutenant Huckleberry, for handing it over to us on behalf of our Director of Public Works, Vanessa Burns. We are glad that we are able to help with this partnership. When we got the call to come together for this, we were elated to do this. We know that our alleys can be troublesome sometimes, and not only for crime and other things, but to get our daily jobs done with picking up yard waste, recycling, picking up junk. Our alleys can be a little tedious, as well as cause a lot of breakage on our equipment. So when we got this call, we would say it's a good opportunity to help out. Not only that, it also enables us to go from door to door and communicate with the neighbors. At this point, we're taking advantage of this time to go to our neighbors to let them know what we're doing and why we're doing it, and also to handle some educational pieces on how to handle their material once they set them out. Now with Operation Clear Path, in addition to clearing alleys where a collection of trucks have difficulties going through, we also clear alleys. The LMPD, as I said earlier, will continue to provide us and let us know those troubled areas. So again, we are happy to be a part of this partnership, and we know that this partnership will enable Public Works to do their job, functions better, at the same time help our community be safer and greener and cleaner, as the mayor always says. And so we want to do everything we can through Metro government to ensure that happens for our citizens. Thank you.
Sure, go ahead, please.
Again, for our friends in the media, I just wanted to discuss the handouts that I've laid out on the countertop there for you. You're going to have a combination of several things there. One is going to be a copy of the PowerPoint that we have up here, and then the two areas that we're going to primarily focus on this spring is going to be the areas in our 1st and 4th division. That's the LMPD 1st and 4th division. So for each division, for the 1st and 4th division, I've got what we call our hot spot or heat maps, and then I've also got shot spotter maps for you. And what we've done is that we've given you all maps for 2017 and then maps for 2018 as well. And Lamont will be able to send that to you electronically. If you would like them electronically, we can do that as well. So we just wanted to inform you all a little bit better. Probably the things that are going to catch your eye the most are the shot spotter maps and how many rounds are fired over in these areas that we're talking about. And of course, everyone is aware that in these alleyways, drug transactions take place, and then some of those drug transactions don't work out well, and somebody might be shot or somebody might be killed. We also don't want these alleyways being an area that are used for shooting galleries, and you'll definitely see the clusters in those areas. And what we've done is that we've actually went out and looked at the areas physically, compared them with the shot spotter maps and the heat maps to try to get the areas and the alleys that need to be cleared out as soon as possible. It's for the 1st and the 4th division. Now, there is one footnote to that. New Year's Eve, there is a lot of shots fired from residences and from properties and so forth. So they have eliminated that portion of it for New Year's Eve. But other than that, everything is accounted for. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. And what we're doing, and like the other gentleman had spoke about, we're just looking at opening these alleys up to where not only the natural light, but the artificial light from the street lights can go in to the alleyway, where our community members, our citizens feel safe, when they're going back and forth from the alleys, taking their trash out, or they're walking through the alley to go to the rear of their residences and so forth. So we want to make them feel safer.
Just a quick two-part question for you. Just using like a Cleveland Boulevard as an example, from an officer's perspective, say you're looking for someone and you come to an area that it looks like in the daytime it's difficult to see. Can you walk me through what's going through your head as you're trying to find someone?
Yeah, I mean, that'll be an issue like on Cleveland Boulevard, and actually that area actually backs up to a railroad yard. So it's not actually a drive-through, but in a case like that, if our officers come up on something like that, or a tree down in an alley or something like that, they're going to have to physically get out of their car and then do the investigation after that. So, but I think with our partnership with Public Works, a lot of these alleys are going to be cleared out relatively quickly.
And what is it that makes these areas breeding grounds for crime? Is it just because you can kind of stay hidden away from the rest of the world, so to speak?
Absolutely. It does. It basically allows the criminals to have a canvas to commit their crimes, and of course that's what we don't want at all.
I'm sorry if this is mentioned somewhere, but for the ShotSpotter numbers, how you have, I mean, obviously there's a lot going on here. Is there a number or anything to put towards this to give people some type of perspective, if you will?
Yeah, and we can, right now, the maps that you all have, it's just the actual shots fired in those areas. We do have the capability of recording how many shots were fired in those areas and so forth, but unfortunately, I don't have it documented for you today. And then on the PowerPoint slide here, if y'all have a few minutes, we can just go through this. And again, this is what we're looking at here. We've got a street light here, and so we want the canopy cleared out so the natural light and the street light can be used throughout the day. And then obviously Public Works is going to help out clearing out the garbage as well. And these images were taken in October of 2017. Okay, but then again, you see we have another alleyway here where we've got some growth. It's not too bad. It is navigable, but Public Works can definitely help us out drastically on that. Okay, and then this is a 3100 block of Cleveland we were talking about. Again, the end of this alley ends at a rail yard, but again, for the purposes of preventing crime, Public Works will go over here and clear it out for us. Okay, and then you just kind of get this is 11th Street here. You can kind of get an idea of how the canopy of the trees have affected the artificial light at night. And then right here, you can see how it's just kind of, even during the day, it's a little dark. So it just needs to be trimmed out. Okay, and then again, we've got another example of here where a street light has been covered up by the canopy of trees. Okay, and I think, okay, another on Cleveland Boulevard. And, like I said, a lot of these alleyways are navigable, and Public Works will be able to get in here fairly quick and have an immediate and lasting impact on the alleys. Okay. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
All righty. Thank you, gentlemen, for letting me ad-lib a little bit there.
This has been a Metro TV production, a public service of Louisville Metro Government.